Somebody gonna watch it to make sure we can hear and everything.
Hey guys, how you guys doing?
Yeah, it's fine. I can mute myself real quick and then see if it works. Okay.
We're live. What's going on, people? Welcome to another class of FIRE, Intelligent Real Estate. This week, what we're going to be talking about? Fellas, can y'all hear me?
Not really. What's going on, everybody? How's everything?
Go ahead, go then. Go.
What's going on, man? Is everybody good? How's everybody doing out there? It's been a while. We wanted to come back. As you see, that we're going to start doing this on a monthly basis instead of weekly like we were doing before. Small change, you know, people have things going on. Summertime, might get back into going live soon here with some live classes and continue with the classes as far as online here. So we might mix it up a little bit. But we're going to go ahead and get started today. Hopefully everybody can hear us. If you have a problem hearing us or there's a delay or anything like that, just put it in the message. That way we know that we got to take care of that. So we want to go ahead and get started talking about, we were just discussing before we got on gold and silver. And we talked about that, a while ago when the classes first started about, how to get into gold and silver, the values are going to start increasing. And that's what we're seeing now. Anybody want to chime in on that?
Markets are going crazy. Markets are going crazy.
Yeah, the stock market for sure is not really a good play right now because it's up and down.
Forex market is crazy. Yes, sir.
Crazy.
Yeah, you can take your money and then you can make a lot of money as well. So
that's what's up.
Derek, you want to pitch on?
Yeah, honestly, man. So just if y'all think about the stock market right now, everything has returned back to almost just about right before we had a big dip back in March. And then just in the forex market related, guys, everything's going crazy right now because the DXY, which is actually the US dollar, is actually just tanking. This week it actually had its first impulse back up. But, more than likely that's just going to be a little quick correction before it shoots back down, even a little more, just because if you start thinking about it, they started printing more stimulus checks. They started printing more money. Because they're going to have to print more money, They're going to have to print more money.
Who got their mic on?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
He's echoing.
Okay. Yeah, there it goes. But basically, yes, with these questions, down the long term, they're printing so much money, it's just going to cause it to keep going down. So, kind of thinking about what are they doing to the US dollar, they're depreciating the US dollar, it's going to just keep shooting down. So that's just not good for the US economy. Interest rates are looking good right now, but long, and that kind of does affect just a few different things in regards to trading. But this is just, we're entering zones and price areas that haven't entered in years. If we look at gold, I know last week we popped off the 1800, 1900 last high back in 2011. And if we're looking at silver, we're getting up there now. And not to mention that silver is the number one conductor for electric cars. Tesla's coming up. Tesla's they're making massive moves, and they need that silver. So I think long term, I know Courtney said we're talking about silver. So silver is actually probably a better investment, just return wise. So just keep expecting silver to go up because you need more and more as time goes. Courtney was saying he got it at a good price. So honestly, if there's a slight little dip back down, honestly, it might be a good time to re-enter because let's say it goes back to 25, 24, you catch to 25 to 50, you're out bag, that's 100% return right there. So I don't think it's too late to enter any commodity just yet or metal, I guess you could say. But just because long term, the US dollar is going to keep appreciating and gold is going to have to keep going up.
For sure. I think Corey's having a little technical difficulty. I see him getting on and off a couple times. So I wanted him to talk about it. And we talked about this several months ago. But Corey said he bought his in March at $17. And now it's at $28. So, as people, when we first mentioned it, if you guys got in and bought something, you made about $10 an ounce already. And it's still going up. Corey, can you hear me? Yeah, we were just talking about, why don't you tell them about when you got your silver?
So I got my silver back in May. we was talking about it actually on here on this podcast when we were in Idaho, and I remember doing in my research they said the last time that the U.S. printed out so much, last time we did the big stimulus package back in 2008, the price of silver and gold jumped so high, but silver had a better return. Silver jumped from $9 to $48. And so this time when I looked into it in May, I got it when it was at $17. And it's only been going up ever since then. But it's just because I still can do more with silver, like phones, technology, other things you can do with gold. A lot of people were making I know on my Facebook friends, a lot of people were hollering at, how gold went to 3,000, which is good, but you had to buy it at 1,700. You see what I'm saying? So that's you gotta have a lot of capital to play in that type of ball game than to the silver ball game. That was another reason why I jumped into the silver pool opposed to the gold, because my money wasn't that long. You know what I'm saying? My money, I can't buy 10 ounces of gold. You know what I'm saying? As silver, I can spend $1,000 on silver and be okay. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of my reasons why I jumped into the silver pool, and because I think me and you, all of us actually, were talking about trying to get China to Mexico. And that articles, people kept bringing up silver and different type of metals, precious metals that could go up. So I just felt like silver was going to be the one, and it actually paid off. It's actually paying off pretty good.
Yeah.
And like Derek said, not too late. Go on, get in.
You're right. You're right, because if it gets up to 50, you get it at 28 right now, it's still a profit. Yeah.
And honestly, that's it only goes up to 50, because if it goes up to 50, it'll probably reject back down and then break that high, honestly, and from what I can see, just because of the demand for it and just long term. So honestly, that 50 might get broken. So let's say you got a coin you got at 17, and let's say it goes to 20. I mean, let's say it goes to 60, or even let's just say 60. At that point, that's already a 200% return and a little more. So, and let's say right now we get it at 27, 25, and it goes up to 60. That's still 100%. I mean, a little more than 100% return, guys. So these guys really take the time to see. I don't know what you're looking at, but it's not too late. It's not too late.
Not for sure. And like Courtney said, it's 20. I mean, right now, when he bought it was 17, but it's $28, less than a dinner out on a weekend. You can get weekend. You can get you can get at least 1 ounce. Then you can get at least 1 ounce. And so you gotta start small. You gotta start where you're at, but at least you're putting your money somewhere where it's gonna grow. And it's just more if you're at a place where you don't have a lot of money to grow it. It's more of developing the mindset. Right, that's what we've been talking about. Developing the mindset. All right, I put some money on that's it. I made a little money on top of it. That compounds, right? That compounds over time. You buy 1, buy 2, next time you buy 10, you buy 20. That compounds. Then you get in real estate, you get in other things. So it's the mentality that you're developing to invest your money instead of just going out and spending your money.
That's so true. I don't know if I heard it from you, Ross, or from somebody, but somebody told me always invest in something that man can't create. Because as man prints paper, he's printing all this money out. Something has to offset it, and that is what God creates. So it's always going to be your oil, your gold, something that man can't duplicate or recreate. It's always going to hold itself value. Because I don't know if y'all talked about this when I got off, but the dollar is getting weaker and weaker by the day. So real estate, and if it ain't coming out the ground or have something to do with the ground, I ain't really messing with it. That's just
real estate. Until it's land.
It's land, gold, silver, diamonds, anything of that. It's all land. It's in the ground. So that's just what I've been thinking, and that's gonna be my game plan until probably after we get a hold on this COVID, and then I'll reevaluate.
Absolutely. Derek, did you have something you want to add?
No, really. That's all I had on regards to just the dollar depreciating. Everybody it's just times are gonna get interesting for sure. But as long as you guys keep investing in the right aspects, you guys keep investing in yourselves. You read the right books, and what Z said, which is actually massive, just getting used to investing in assets instead of investing in nights out and stuff like that. That's really going to take you long term, because you're automatically going to switch your paradigm to being going out, spending money on stuff that they're going to give you a return to oh, you know what? Think about it. I need to start investing. Oh man, look, I made some profit on silver. Oh look, I can, it's just going to switch that paradigm, that mindset. So definitely.
I know for me, it's telling me that if I had $1,000 in the bank, that 1,000 in the bank ain't gonna do nothing for me. You see what I'm saying? I could put that 1,000, park it somewhere else, and have a better return on that. Now I'm gonna talk about one thing. That was silver was good for me, but what I did lost. I'm gonna switch it a little bit. I invested into Spirit Airline. Thinking Spirit was going, Spirit second quarter return said that they had a lot of liquid. They were cash happy, unlike Delta, American. They had a lot of debt. Spirit said they had a lot of cash, and I bought it in at 20. People saying it's gonna go higher. That thing been dropping ever since. It ain't taking me what I thought it was gonna do. So I don't know about you guys. If y'all want to chime in on that, some of your investments that didn't do good.
That's the media.
I feel like if you hold that long term, like it's gonna come back for sure. But in regards to like gold, so just like my little, for some odd reason, I just kept wanting like my biggest like when I trade, my biggest thing I catch the big reversals. So I caught the big reversal at 1703 when I went to 1458 back in March and stuff like that. That's what I like catching. I like catching big moves. So that, like, I kept trying to sell gold, and it's like, why would you sell gold if it's constantly going up? So I kept getting I took like 3 losses in a row type deal, right? And it's fine, because at the end of the day you can make it back, no problem. But it's just one of those things, where you live and you learn, just like kind of like you're going against the grind. Like why are you gonna say the U.S. dollar is gonna get stronger? You know what I'm saying? So I myself have taken some lessons, and I'm just like, you know what? Let me stop selling gold and just start buying it up, because it just makes more sense to do that. So yeah, I've taken a lesson on that too myself. So like guys, like with everybody, like with anything, just don't let little losses discourage you, and just learn from them and grow from them. Really.
So my piece on that on the stocks is the media, because if you've seen, the media was like, okay, airlines are going up, everything's looking like it's ready to open back up. It's a short squeeze. It was an inflation. Like literally, it was just like, okay, we're just gonna get everybody to buy so we can take their money again, and that's all it was, because the media is going to get you to think that you're safe to buy and everything's going up. In reality, I mean, we knew that Corona wasn't over. You know what I'm saying? So that was a time like, okay, this is how you know the media is manipulated. This is how you know it, because as soon as they said it, it failed. It failed.
That's so true. Another good example I'm going to talk about the media manipulating is with Kodak. I don't know if y'all looked at Kodak. Kodak stock was $2. And then the president said something about Kodak was going to get a $750 million grant. Kodak stock went all the way up to $50.
Wow. There you go.
Kodak the camera.
Mm-hmm.
But the manipulation of, and then it dropped right back down to like 20-something, 30. But it was just, I feel like the stocks right now is one of those, I might make a quick flip, but it's very timing. It's very, you have to be on the right time.
That's true. And I'm going to pitch in that too, because I brought some Apple stock, I think last week, and I seen, like, just from knowing the charts and just how things flow, you can see how they manipulate it, where it dropped down, and that's when I got in the market, and that's when Apple sent out some news saying, like, okay, we're going carbon-based, like, I don't know, some equipment, and we're, and the stock just skyrocketed. And that's not because of, that's not because they just, put out that news. That's because of the way the market moves. It went down. So as soon as they feel like, okay, it has to go back up, they're going to announce some news for it to go back up. I have 10% of my money in a week. And that's crazy to do that. You can invest any money into, like, if you look at the markets and see how it moves, okay, when it hits a low point, bam, buy it in 10%, I will get out, because the market's not done dropping, So
and that's everybody, all the people I've been talking to who do trading and stuff like what you and Derek do. That's what everybody's telling me. It's the stock right now is not how it was in the late 90s, early 2000s. It is when somebody goes public, the way I was told is that means the investor is losing money. He already tapped out all his other resources, and now he needs the stock market to give him money. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, you can play the peon. Now us, I'm calling myself a peon, the ones at the bottom level, we think we getting into it right now where people are not even playing with stocks no more. The rich is not messing with stocks like that no more. And if they are, it's on such a quick in and quick out scene. They're not playing with the stock market like that. No longer. That is a common ground.
And what Corey says is exactly true. That's how the stock market was set up. that it's really, and that's why when you talk to people, I invest. We invest in stocks. It's really for the layperson. You're not gonna, unless you have, you know, 100,000, 200,000 plus, a whole bunch of money to invest in the stock market. Even back in maybe in the 70s, you made a lot of money. I know a lot of people that made a lot of money then. But up past, you know, like I said, the 90s, you know, it was more of a push. That's why they manipulated for the layperson to get in, you know, feed that company money so they can grow, and you make a couple dollars off of it. It's really not an educated person's investment. Like most people, gold and silver. Most people don't know about that. It's real estate. You know, things that are more for educated, sophisticated investors, buying businesses and things like that. That's what we're not taught. But we're fed stock market. Why? There's a reason behind that. They want everybody to get in the stock market so they can feed these companies, the economy, and that type of thing. So, you know, I might catch a lot of flack for saying that because, you know, everybody, stock market 401k. But how many people has that made rich?
No. And I'm
rich, but they got in really early, back a long time ago, or they invested a whole lot, like, you know, when Apple first started or something back in the 80s.
Correct. There you go. Yeah.
You know. But
for us millennials, it ain't really eating for us.
No.
This generation that's on the phone, we ain't eating for those stuff.
Unless you have, like, you know, a large amount of money to work with.
Correct.
Like, you know, like I had a play that started with 10. And you know, he can multiply it to 100, you know, in about a year or so. But like, it's just like you gotta know what you're doing too, you know. You have to take these notes from these guys that have been doing it for a long time, really. Because like I was like, the stock market's dead, you know. And I was telling him the same thing, but I was talking down on his craft. But I was like, bro, you know, Forex, he was like, dude, like, look at my portfolio, and he was able to, like, you know, 10x it like within a year. I was like, okay, there's still money, but you need to know what you're doing. You need to have a solid like idea. And like it's just training, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to you like you're not gonna go on there because anything that you go on Google, what stock market is gonna go up? Yeah, you might find a good lead, et cetera, but that's not only gonna give you a good lead, they're gonna give you a bad lead, and that's just gonna take all your money because you know they're giving you the wrong information on purpose, guys. Like when you watch the like I know you're touching up on it earlier. When you watch the media, when you watch the news, that's all just controlled information. You guys got to think about it. These media companies are owned by the same 5, 6. Like I think it's like 80 to 90% of the media is owned by the same 5 to 6 companies. Like they're gonna feed you what they want. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, like no matter what race you are or whatever, like Hispanic, like Telemundo, Fox, and like you know CNN, they're gonna have like their own side, but they're gonna be kind of telling you the same thing in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like panic, be scared, run away, et cetera, et cetera. Like no, guys, like you know. You guys have to kind of observe what they're doing. Like one of our mentors said, Jay's mentor say, observe the masses and do the opposite. You know what I'm saying?
That's what you got. Yeah, because whatever the masses are doing, that's not what the elites are doing. That's never what the elites are doing. It's what the masses are doing. And another thing, just to piggyback on what Derek said, the media, those news channels are at a time where they are desperate. They realize that they're coming to the end of their media. TV, as we once know it, is an end. It's about to be done. Like my little cousin, they don't watch TV for nothing. I'm talking about not now Netflix, nothing. I'm thinking, damn, you don't watch Netflix? It's YouTube or Instagram or anything else. So these media people are getting desperate. So I'm not trusting nothing that the media says right now because it's out of desperation. Anytime anybody got their backs up in the corner, they're going to feed you whatever they can to get. And right now, the media is in their corner, fighting people like Facebook and YouTube because that is the new platform. People like what's your guy Gary Vee? He gets on YouTube. Gary Vee not on CNN. They don't want him on CNN. No. You know what I'm saying? His platform is not CNN. His platform is YouTube because he's spitting that real stuff.
And it's his
platform
too.
Correct. And that's why I think that's where.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean that's it. You know, again, what Derek dropped is about education. Most people don't educate; they give it to a financial advisor. Invest this money for me. Most financial advisors, they went to college and got a degree to read the market, tab charts, and stuff like that. They don't even know. They don't even invest. Ask your financial planner what he invests in. Ask him the money that you're giving him that he's investing for you. Does he buy that same stock?
Good question. That's a perfect question. Yeah,
that's something that you should be scared of.
I work in a bank.
Yeah, I was going to tell you if you could touch upon that because I know me and Courtney we actually met working at a bank, and I was hoping he could touch on that a little more about how like these financial advisors, they're not really knowing where to put they're really just giving information from some like you know more than I do. So if you want to expand on that, I'm sorry.
No, man, you're absolutely right. I'm over here saying like you're so true because these people, they just like everything else is an algorithm. Life we know now is ran on an algorithm. So what they do with your information is they put it in, type it, they put all your stuff in, a pre-filled out formula. The computer will literally do everything for you. And all he does, he or she, the financial advisor, will print out something that looks very good on colored paper, good paper, good ink, and graphs and all this. And he didn't do any of that. He has 50 people. He just put your stuff in a computer system that his company works or uses, and that system thought about everything for you. So again, he's not putting in any stock. That's why when Ross said, "Are you putting this stock?" He might not even know because a computer told him what to tell you. He did not take time to do what Derek and Jay do, look at charts. He did not take that time to do that. He typed that information into an algorithm. And I have friends that work for Merrill Lynch. I have friends that's the game. My college roommate father was the CFO of the Pentagon. We asked him a simple accounting pro question. He couldn't answer. He said everything's computer. So the world that we live in is all algorithm based. Once you go to school, get that knowledge, you're gonna go to a company that's gonna teach you their algorithms. So that's just don't listen to any of those people. You're better off self-knowledging and learning yourself, talking to people who are actually putting their money in. Like Ross said, did you put your money in it? And if he says yes, then he believe that. You know what I'm saying? If somebody asks me about silver, I'm going to tell them the 100% truth because that's something that I've already walked. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's where you get the best advice from people who have put their money where their mouth is. That financial advisor ain't invest in the same stock that he's giving you, and that's facts. so I'm glad we talked on that. Yeah,
For sure. So let's transition. Anybody got anything else to add to that?
Yeah, I did want to question this. I might have answered this when I got off. How's the Forex doing though?
Oh,
Amazing. Honestly, I know Jay want to expand on it too a little bit, but as long as honestly anything, so like let's say the DXY. So if you guys go to like TradingView, the DXY is the US dollar, right? I think in stocks it's the DIA. So it's kind of the same thing, but the DXY, the US dollar, has been tanking. So guys, if you think about it, all you have to do is so like let's say you're trading, Euro USD, all you have to do is buy the Euro USD because that means the Euro is a lot stronger than the US dollar. So that means the Euro USD is going to cause it to go up because US dollar is going down. So they're going to do the opposite, right? So if you guys are like, if anything, USD is basically losing strength. So any other pair that has USD at the end of it should be shooting up. Or if it has USD in front of it, I know some of y'all might be like confused.
No, so don't worry, you dropping gems. Those are gems right there. You dropping, brother.
Mm-hmm. So anything that it just really depends. And if you guys have any questions, you can follow me on Instagram. DefineMind DEFINE_mind MIND, or follow Jay. He's pretty knowledgeable too. He's actually really, really, really good. I'm really impressed. So, but back to it, guys. Anything the DXY or anything, if it says USD in the front, expect it to go down. So if it's US dollar versus the Canadian, then expect that to go down. But like let's say Euro USD or GBP, which is the Great British Pound versus USD, expect to buy that if the dollar keeps falling, which honestly is probably going to keep falling with all the money they're printing. So like I said, if you guys have questions, what I'm saying, feel more than free. But yeah, Jay, you want to?
It's just so I've only been trading for a couple months, but it's just I came in the right time because the markets are moving like how they're supposed to be moving. Like this is the best time because it's just so you can see it setting up so well just because the dollar just has no choice but to fall because there's printing so much money. So just like Derek says, like, okay, if it pairs up with the US dollar, then it's going up, it's going to go up because the US dollar is going down. So it's just like if you haven't like looked into Forex or anything, you should, just because it's a way that you can actually live through what we're living through. Like it's literally like we're living through we're getting paid through what's going on. Like Corona was an effect on the market, which you've seen, which you could have took advantage of. You know what I'm saying? Versus just living in it. You're just living in it.
And watching it pass you by.
You're watching it pass you by while you're in it. You know?
And that's what so many people do in life, man. They just they go through life just watching. Like me working at a bank, I see people coming and getting this this SBA loan. This is not a surprise. Everybody been getting this SBA loans. $10,000 people is getting. I have not seen nobody take a smart investment with that $10,000 yet. Not one person.
And you know what sucks that like, and I hate to put it out there like this, but like people are getting that $10,000 grant, but there's people like I'm not even supposed. I mean, I'm doing good regardless, you know. But people like me who've applied for it multiple times and I keep getting rejected. You know what I'm saying? So like, it kind of sucks. So I'm telling people who are and people who are on like getting these benefits, like wake up, man! Like get out of like the hole that you're living in or the sand. Get your head out of the sand and invest in yourself. Like put this money forth to. You think about it, you're doing nothing on it, right? Like you're not having to work a job. Like if you're out there, you're working a side job, and you're making more money on top of the money. Great. I'd rather you be doing like making side money and then collecting unemployment than you just be sitting on your house not doing nothing. Like no, like invest in yourself. Take this money, this free money that you're probably not gonna have to pay back, and invest in your doggone self. Like say, I'm sorry, like I'm trying not to curse, but like invest in yourself. Invest in something that's gonna take you to the next level. Invest in something that's gonna grow your brain. And like guys, come on, think about this opportunity that we're probably never gonna get again. Remember these pandemics happen like once every 100 years. Like this is people are probably not like if somebody's let's say born next year and they only live to be 80, they're never gonna see a pandemic. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say it's an honor, but it's kind of a privilege because usually the forex markets during the summer they're dead. Right now they're popping. Like they're popping. You know, it's crazy. So going back to it, guys, please, if somebody's listening to this and you're collecting these benefits, please, there's people out there that were wishing that they could be collecting this stuff and they can't, you know, and they're still making it happen for themselves without that kind of money, right? So if you guys have this kind of money, you have access to this kind of money, invest in something that's going to be positive. Don't go out there and buy some rims or some 84s or nice clothes. No, like that's not going to get you nowhere. Like it's not. I promise you. Like you know, as soon as you walk out of the Louis Vuitton store, it's not going to be. I went to the gallery the other day, guys. Check this out. There was lines to get into Louis Vuitton, lines to get into Gucci, lines to get into Armani, lines to get into all these fine stores. And I looked at like not discriminating against nobody, you know. And I looked at the people in the lines, and they were all minorities of all races. And I was just looking at them, and I was like, guys, like
this ain't for you. Not to cut
like,
you off, but Boosie said the same thing what you just said, and you going to be spending all this money in stores, and they don't even like us. They don't even want you in their store. Boosie put that on his Instagram and said, y'all looking stupid right now, standing in long lines, knowing that the CEO of this company don't even want you wearing his products.
Nope.
Well, come on, people. Think. That is like, think. Why put that money in? And if you open up the history books, any time in history that the government has ever given so much money, the next election after, or the next preceding president, you caught hell. From it was Nixon, when Lyndon B. Johnson gave out all those stuff back in the 60s, Nixon came right up and said, it's done. That's when the war on drugs happened, all of that, and they ain't getting nothing since Lyndon B. Johnson gave out all those Lyndon B. Johnson was signing all those racial practices laws. We got nothing after that. So if the government is giving us so much right now, the government is just like the casino. They are not in the position to lose. So they just put out $3 trillion. Best believe they're going to get it somehow, some way. And now we can start talking about the real estate thing. Because 132 Raw's. Yeah. But that's all I got to say, y'all. Everybody here was saying some good stuff. Please look back at this video. Derek was dropping gems on the Forex. We were all dropping gems about different trading. So write down this stuff down, y'all. Don't think you can just retain this just by looking at the video. Get your pen and paper and take down some notes. Because we really giving you some quality information.
Get some education. That's what we're here for. And as we transition, so when we post, a lot of times we say, "Oh, we're going to teach about flipping," but our name is FIRE, Financial Intelligence and Real Estate Education. So the first half we usually give you financial intelligence, which I think you got plenty of that today, from multiple people and from multiple sources, different sides and different views. You know, so like you said, there's some gems. You got to write that stuff down. You got to take notes. You got to educate yourself. Just don't be on here watching and expect you're going to retain all the information. But so now we're going to real estate. So everybody knows right now. The interest rates, Courtney mentioned it, 2.9%, 3%. They're so low. So you got so many people going in to buy homes, right? So everybody was thinking, especially in the real estate game, oh, all this is going to cause a bad effect, the coronavirus and all that. And in the beginning, maybe for the first month or two, it did. But after a while, people was like, okay, well, maybe it's not that big of a deal. Interest rates are low. I still have a job. If you're, in a career like, medical or something that a career is going to keep sustaining outside of entertainment, restaurant, that type of thing, that that's a struggle right now for people that are in that occupation. So everybody's getting into, I got to go buy a house. I'm at 3% versus before you might have been 5 to 7 to 8, depending on your credit score. So now you can buy a bigger house, a better house, and pay less on it because you're not paying as much interest. So everybody's getting in. So what does that mean for us in real estate? So if you're working on properties now, if you're looking to flip properties, it's a good time to get in right now. You got to hurry up before it dries up, right? Get in.
Because it's going to dry up.
Property. So we had properties before the corona started that were on the market for several months. Corona, after that, they dropped the interest rates. Now we got property selling, left and right. So like I said, if you can get some properties right now, we're going to talk about today, finding properties. You can get some properties in right now and get them fixed up and sold right away, you're going to make a good profit because you can actually charge more or you can sell it for more now because the interest rate is so low, right? So people come in and buy it for a little more because they can afford to. Right? So that's important. Now, I'm thinking looking forward in the future when the market starts crashing a little bit more because we talked about 3 quarters the market has been negative, which hadn't happened in the 20s. So we know that there's a fall coming, a recession, depression, whatever you want to call it. That's coming. The dollar's dropping. That's coming. So now when you transition out of that, you keep your flipping right now. But think forward to say, what I'm doing right now is I'm marketing to people that have rental properties. Because we know they're doing rental forgiveness. Because of the market now, they're doing a mortgage. They're not foreclosing on homes right now, in a lot of areas because of what's going on. So they're allowing people, to go on forbearance, deferments. So you're not going to find a lot of foreclosures, which is our big foreclosure, which is our biggest market. As a flipper, or even as a buy and holder. So now you can start targeting people looking forward that people have rental properties that aren't getting paid because they can't afford to pay that mortgage and their home mortgage if their renter's not paying, right? So that's going to be a huge market looking forward. Now you can buy and hold those. If you buy them and discounted enough, maybe you can sell them. It's going to be a little harder to sell them. So it's a better play to buy and hold those for a little while, get them at a good rate. Maybe you already have the renter, that's in there that, if they're on a government program, you can help them get into that government program. And now you can start collecting rent from them, where most landlords, they don't want to get into all that. They don't want to help, people.
So hold on.
Go ahead.
Can you go back to explain, what do you mean by targeting rental people? Can you explain that a little bit?
So I'm targeting landlords. So, you have John and Joe, they have, a few rental properties. And right now, because their renters are, they worked at McDonald's or they worked at the restaurant business, hotel business. They got furloughed. They stopped the unemployment. So all those things are allowing people to file for programs that they have now called rental forgiveness, which basically means they don't have to pay rent. And you can't do anything to them. You can't kick them out. You can't do any of that right now because of the programs that are in place. It's actually, law that if they're not paying, you have to forgive them in most places because of what we're going through. So you have a landlord that's not getting paid. He's got 2 or 3 houses, his own house, that he's trying to cover mortgages on.
Gotcha.
He was taking his rent and covering those mortgages from his renters. Now he's covering them out of his pocket.
So now he's in a bad position.
He's in a bad position. And he's going to want to get rid of that stuff.
I got you.
Let me ask a question, and this is something that has a rise on most people, just from what I've been looking at. So all these guys that own Airbnbs, nobody wants to travel right now, right? So a lot of these guys over leveraged on Airbnbs, getting them in apartment complexes, getting them houses, barely, because they were pretty much down on these houses rather than these apartments. So those guys, I mean, of course, at the end of worst comes to worst, they just lose the spot, right? But what I'm really getting to is would there be a way to target these guys or kind of figure out how it is that we, somebody could go in there and help them? Because typically Airbnbs are rentals, they're just short-term rentals, right? So would there be would you think there would be a niche in that, I guess you could say?
Absolutely. I consider that when I say rental properties or landlords, Airbnb owners are landlords. They're just short-term landlords, right? They're like you said, aren't being rented. So the thing about that is you got to be cautious of is that if you take on that property, you have to be able to float it for a little while. Because you're in the same position. You might not rent Airbnb. You might not get a renter. So you have to be able to float it for a few months. But that is a good target. Airbnb, regular long-term landlords. What else is out there? That's the biggest one. Airbnb and the long-term landlords. So with those, that's the target, right? You see all the Airbnb people. They have most of the time have information. You can just email them right on there. I would. All they're going to do is tell you, they're going to block you and say, oh, you can't do that. But, you may do 100 in the beginning, you may get a couple.
Oh, you need
Before they tell you can't do it anymore. You won. So, okay, now you go to the next strategy.
Right.
So, definitely, that's Airbnb is definitely a good target right now.
Do you need me to put the notes, Z, or you don't need them?
We'll get into that. I'm kind of just covering what the markets are doing right now. So 3%, everybody's getting in, everybody wants to buy, like we talked about. So that would be a long-term target. Landlords, Airbnbs, target that now. But if you get a property right now that you can flip, you're going to be able to sell it fast, and you're going to be able to sell it for a profit. Right? In most cases. Again, not 100%. I'm just telling you right now what the markets are doing as far as being able to sell property. And that's really nationwide. In the beginning, D.C., Maryland, I heard that was so hot. We took a little longer to catch on in the Houston area, but in other areas like California, they're hot. My aunt's buying a house out there, and they're getting multiple bidders on the same house, overpaying for the property. So right now, what does that tell us though? As educated people, that's telling us people are buying homes in a market that we know is going to be depressed. So what's that going to do?
That's going to depreciate the whole neighborhood.
It's going to depreciate the whole neighborhood. It's also going to, like we had 2008, everybody lost their houses. So you're buying a property, right? Because you got a low interest rate. Now, we know some people have great careers, but if there is a depression, then I don't care what kind of career you have, you could lose that career. Now you got a house you just bought. Then now you lost your job, now you can't afford it anymore. And is that going to happen across the board? Not to everybody, but is there going to be a large amount? Absolutely. It's going to be a large amount.
And if you buy a house that's not even worth it, you can't take no equity out of it. You don't.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So much stuff that, you upside down in the house.
Right.
That's right. Just like 2008, but tenfold.
Now, here's the thing I've been hearing, though. Here's the thing, because like you said earlier, finding the finance to getting all these houses is the hardest thing that I'm hearing everybody go through. The banks only want A1 people on paper. If you ain't got a 720 with some cash in your account, they're not messing with you. Have you been hearing that too?
Absolutely. And that's going to get worse, right? That's going to get harder and harder to buy homes. But see, that's why they lower the interest rate to get everybody what they're doing now. Again, like we talked about, they manipulate. They lower the interest rate to get everybody to come in and buy this home. Now these banks have all of these mortgages on their books, right? They have insurance for that stuff. So if they lose it, it's really not. It's going to hurt the market in a whole, but it's not going to devastate them necessarily, unless they were doing the subprime loans and things like that, like they were doing back in the.
But they pretty much stopped that. So they
pretty much stopped that. Most times now, some banks have started getting back into it. Yeah, some have started getting back into it. So that's what I'm saying. Long term, I think that the market is going to be depressed. Why? Again, people are buying things like you talked about. You're going out to dinner, but you don't have an investment, right? You're going to buy a home. And we know 3/4 have been negative. We know it's coming. The hit is coming. It's coming. But you went and still bought a home thinking that I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. How do you know you're gonna be okay? Right? I'm happy. I want you to buy a home, right? I want people to buy a home. But if you're moving forward to buy a home, do it with caution. I know several people that bought homes in the last couple of months. Interest rates so low, I'm trying to get a home. All right, but you have your own business. You're an investor. You have a job, whatever. All those things we know that's 100% secure, right?
So what you're saying is don't spread yourself thin?
That's what comes with education, though. What you say, Courtney?
What are you saying? You saying people are spreading themselves a little too thin and leveraging themselves out too much?
That's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing. And again, if you're educating yourself and you say, all right, well, I can buy this home for a good rate because I have a low interest rate. So, but I have 6 months, I have a year of cushion that I can play with. Then you're in a good place. But do we know most people don't have that in America? They don't.
Forbes released an article that said most Americans don't have $400 cash to cover an emergency. That's 60% of Americans did not have $400 cash to cover an emergency. That article came out last year.
Absolutely.
Before Corona.
Right. And so all these things are what good for us as real estate investors. If you have a plan, if you're putting your plan in place now, you're going to be able to buy a lot of discount properties like we talked about. You can target landlords. You can get a bunch of rental properties. But if you have to have that system, that sound foundation in place before it happens. If you're trying to do it while it's happening, then you're going to be struggling with trying to figure it out. And by that time, you probably already missed the boat. Just like people miss the boat with, they're going to sit on silver and gold for, several more months. Oh, I have to go buy it. Now they're buying it at $50. You lost already. You already lost, right? And unfortunately, that's what we're educated as Americans in general. That once it starts going up, stock market's great. Let's get in the stock market. You've already missed it.
Sure. So let me ask you this question. What would you say to that guy that we were just talking about who may have got a $10,000 grant SBA? He's trying to be smart. He or she may be trying to be smart with this newfound blessing. They just got $10,000. What would you tell them to do right now if they're trying to get into the real estate game and they got $10,000 as capital?
So again, that's what we're doing here. I would get in, maybe put together a group that 10,000, maybe get 5 or 6 other people with 10,000. Put your money together and go buy rental property. Go buy and flip it real fast. Everybody make a little money off of it. Your money grew. And just keep watching the market. If you can do it again, do it again until the market falls, right? Keep doing that, and now you're compounding your money. So you can get that 10,000. You don't have to buy the whole property yourself. You don't have to do all the work yourself.
There you go.
It's a team effort. And that's kind of like we talking about what we do here. We team up, people invest with us. They make a little money, we make a little money. And then also, if you have that 10,000, what I would say, while you're preparing your group or while you're figuring that out, go buy silver. Why? Because people think savings has to be cash. If you're buying silver, that's a savings. You're saving money. That's a misconception. I got to put $10,000 in the bank at what? 1-2% interest rate that if the bank tanks, I'm losing, right? If the dollar falls, I'm losing. Put it in an asset, right, that will keep increasing. And then when you want to go to the state, you can walk up to any shop, and there's 20 of them in probably in 5-mile radius of, I don't care where you're living at, you can walk in and sell the silver and get the cash in your pocket. It's not like a stock. You gotta go to the guy and get him to sell your stock. Then you get them. No, gold and silver, and it's non-taxable. You can go and sell it anytime. Right?
Talk that talk, brother.
Hey, and we gotta educate ourselves.
That was one of the hardest things for me personally to realize. Like, damn, this bank is because growing up, growing up with both parents, they don't really understand knowledge. They gonna tell you put your money in the damn bank, boy, and don't touch it. They gonna tell you put it in a CD. All this nonsense. And like you just said, I could put my money in some silver or gold, and that's looked at as a CD too. That's gonna give me a better return. So that is a mindset that took me a while, to learn. But like you just said, just because you're saving, it does not have to be in an FDIC bank. Actually, that's one of the places that millionaires don't save. Millionaires do not keep their money in Chase or Bank of America. Like they leave that.
Honestly, banks are becoming another thing of the past. I'm sorry to come in there, but I'm not saying they are or they're fossils just yet. But think about it, guys. And I'm sorry to cut anybody off, but let me put this out there. Let's say they do away with fiat currency. So fiat currency is physical currency, like a dollar. You know what I'm saying? If they do away with that, what's the point of a bank anymore? Besides lending, they can do that online. What's the point of having these brick and mortar banks anymore? Because brick and mortar banks are really just there to take in your cash and give it back out, right? I mean, there's more like the lending and et cetera, savings accounts and all that kind of stuff too. But I feel like the physical purpose of a bank was to take physical currency, take account of it, and then they take that money, they go invest it in, Forex or wherever they go invest it. They give you a 1% return when they're making 100% return, right? So people are going to catch on to this, right? With information, people are going to catch on to this kind of stuff. So if you start thinking about it, guys, like banks, I'm not saying that this yet, but these brick and mortar banks, they might just become a thing of the past. And then with digital currency coming up with like cryptos and all that kind of stuff, and then, I'm not sure if you noticed, but China and Japan, they try to make their own, like their currency into crypto, and then the US kind of has looking into that as well. So if you guys think about it, like, banks might be a thing of the past. I'm not saying,
my friend, there's no way. Your kids will never walk into a bank. And I tell people that every day. Your kids, and you don't know your kids yet, Derek. Right. But I tell you this, our kids is never going to walk into a bank and talk to a teller and ask for cash. There's none of that's going to happen. Because they already have it in position to get rid of it as we speak right now.
Yeah.
It's just that the fact that as a society, it was scared too many of us. But how do you think that after COVID, everybody, major company was in position to send people to work from home? They was already in position. So America is in position to send everything into currency digital right now. But as American society, we are not that advanced in the technology world. It will scare too many of us. And all of us, we're not from the South, but we all live in the South. And we know the way that they look at technology down here in the South is different from up in the North.
Yeah.
People say, I'm always going to come in the bank. My father, who just turned 67, could cash out you, Zelle you, whatever you want. And he's 67. In DC and has but down here it's a different type of mindset, and that's the reason why the digital wave ain't coming in as strong as right now, because America is unprepared. You got people like Elon Musk just waiting for come on, y'all, push the button so we can go digital. But yeah, go ahead, Ross. My bad. I didn't even want to take you over.
No, that's cool, and people can have what he's saying is absolutely right, and people.